everybody. I'm really grateful to have been able to be here in Hawaii this morning to see off almost 200 soldiers from the Hawaii Army National Guards, 1st of the 487 Field Artillery Battalion, who are going to be deploying to Afghanistan. We have your back. Hikino!
Hikino! This 400 days is going to be long.
This unit specifically was the unit I deployed with during my second deployment. So there were a lot of people there who I served with during that deployment. There were a lot of new faces, a lot of younger soldiers, people who've never been deployed before. It's been a tough morning, sending them all off, accepting that I'm not going with them. A lot of my friends, they've served on 2 or 3, or this is their 4th deployment. For a bunch of them, they said this is going to be their last, primarily because it's been so tough on their families.
Be safe. Come back. I will. I made a promise. Yeah.
I talked to one friend of mine, actually. Both he and his wife are full-time soldiers in the Hawaii Army National Guard. I served with them during the last 2 deployments. He's going on this deployment. His wife is staying home. They've got 5 kids. The oldest is 15. I think the youngest is 3 years old. His 15-year-old said, Dad, you're not going to be around to help teach me how to drive. But, you know, it's the things that never make it into the headlines. And it's the peoples whose names are not spoken. The reason why a lot of people in this country don't think about our foreign policy and the impact of it is because they don't know, perhaps, that we still have soldiers, we still have troops who are deploying. Put the politics aside. These are men and women of all ages who are willing to put their lives on the line for our country. Incredible, incredible people who are putting service above self. They are why it's so important. They are why it's critical that we honor their service, that we honor their great sacrifice by making sure that they are only sent on missions that serve the interests of the American people, that keep us safe, that we end these regime change wars that have proven so costly in so many ways. They're sending off almost 200 today, but there are many more who are currently deployed or soon to be deployed. I will continue to do all that I can. I will continue to do everything I possibly can to bring them home as safely and quickly as possible, and to bring about this change in our foreign policy so that our troops are not continuously being sent off to fight in these regime change wars, that the missions that they are sent on are truly worthy of the great sacrifices that they and their families are making. Let's keep them at the forefront as a reminder of why we're doing what we're doing and who we're fighting for. Aloha.
Aloha. Okay, picture's too big. Are you doing stuff? You have the mouse right? Okay. Okay, so is there anybody in here? I don't know. I don't have a second page. Okay, let's find out. Let's see. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. that button. You see that? Can you see that button not looking? Yeah. Refresh it. There I am. Hi, everybody. Nice to see y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Moth News. Up the volume. Dwayne wants the volume up. Working on it, Dwayne. Thanks very much for your input. Okay, so we got the Got Freedom t-shirt on. Got Freedom. Got Freedom. Okay, so, volume. Okay, now UTM saying that. Can you please up the volume? It doesn't do any good to do anything if they can't hear me. Hello, it's me. Can you hear me now? Oh. Just a minute. We're working on the microphone. Okay, working on the volume. Just a sec. It's going to be up here in just a sec. We're going to get it in just a sec. Okay, we're going to get the volume in just a sec. Just wait just a second. We'll get the volume. I think. They say low volume. Yes, low volume. Can you please up the volume? S'il vous plaît. Hear you loud. Oh, hear you loud and clear. Wait a minute. That guy's a troll though. Do you turn it up? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Anybody out there? We lost 3 people. They're bored. Hello? Better. Is it better? Is it better? Does that mean good or better? Is it better or is it good? Is it good or is it better? Voting for what, UTN? So the volume is now 7 out of 10. Yeah, we don't want to get too loud. You know how I can be. All right, so Tulsi was much louder. Okay, let's see. So, Wilco, how did the butter turn out? Did you taste your butter? Did it turn out good? Did anybody? Did you start on your butter yet, UTN? Huh? Bingo. Okay, it says the volume's right now. Did you hear me, Wilco? You started your butter yet, UTN? Okay, so here we are. It's Veterans Day, and Craig asked me if I want to do stuff in the background for veterans, and I was like, you know, I always am talking about veterans and the troops and our brothers and sisters, and I see all these people like the mainstream media and Congress and other people who, you know, when it works for them, they pander in that way. Oh, it's Veterans Day, so we have to go out and we have to say something about the veterans, you know. But I don't think anybody's calling them brothers or sisters or talking about bringing them home other than Tulsi. So I don't want to be like that, you know. I don't want to be like somehow like I'm pandering. It's not that I'm pandering. It's that when they do it in the media, you know how phony it is, you know. And I don't want to be part of that phony stuff that they do in the media, or just a very, very selective part of what that phony stuff is that they do in the media. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of veterans on Mox News, and I'm pretty sure that they know how Mox News feels about veterans, and that's a big part of why they're here. And freedom, I mean, the veterans fight for freedom, right? So, let's see. Don Cherry getting fired from Sportsnet. Oh, yeah. I have a story. Did he get fired? I didn't know he got fired. Did that just happen a minute ago, or what happened? No, I saw his comments and was going to post them, but I've been running around all day. Me and the dogs went on a 3-hour adventure earlier, and now I gotta work tonight. So I'm working tonight at 11 p.m. So I'm probably gonna cut this a little bit short tonight. Anyways, I'm working tonight, and it's only going to be, I'm working all night, so, and I may be working tomorrow night too. So, but I want to come out here, I want to touch base with you guys, because we're going to do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. I'm here, I'm doing it. I did the little Tulsi Gabbard thing at the beginning, because, did you guys see the speech she made in Los Angeles earlier? Great, it's fucking fantastic, I love it. So, let's see, batch of butter still cooling. Yeah, it's gotta cool down. You don't want to burn your fingers. Nice, though. I'm glad you got it done. Yeah, it's super hot. If you burn yourself, you're not gonna have a good time. Okay, so I expect you to get working on your butter there real soon, UTN. So UTN says somebody was doing a live stream, and the people that were commenting on the live stream got their account suspended. What were they talking about, UTN? This is a new fractal I just found. I think it's okay. It looks okay. It seems a little bit shorter than I expected it to be, though. Is this the one I just got? I think it looks like it. So, Neil Young's U.S. citizenship has been delayed over marijuana. Why would he want to be a U.S. citizen anyway? I'm really surprised. I mean, why would you wait until you're like 90 years old and the U.S. has like just killed 1 million people in Iraq and go, oh, I want to get my U.S. citizenship? Okay, so anyways, I'm just touching bases with you guys. Like I said, I gotta work tonight, and it's gonna be like the first time that I've worked in like, I think, 22 years for money. So got that going for me. But it's only tonight and maybe tomorrow night, and then we'll get back to everything as normal as possible. The impeachment starts on Wednesday morning, so if it works on, if I work on Tuesday night, it's Monday and Tuesday. I thought it was going to be Wednesday and Thursday, and I was really concerned that I was going to fuck up the whole impeachment hearing schedule. But if I work tomorrow night too, I'm pretty sure I'll be home in time to be able to do the impeachment hearing live. So, And you guys see, I posted a CNN video yesterday of Bill Moyers. You guys hear me? Does it sound okay? Bill Moyers video. It wasn't Bill Moyers, a CNN video of Bill Moyers calling on the broadcast networks to re-air, to rebroadcast the impeachment hearings during their prime time. You guys see that? And CNN blocked it. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I mean, this is the shit that they want to be getting out into the discussion. They want people talking about, and they're blocking shit. You know, the whole point of them being, you know, the state-run Operation Northwoods or whatever. This mind fuck media. The whole point of it is to disseminate it as wide and far as humanly possible, and for whatever pea-brain reason, they're censoring their videos on YouTube, and it makes me nervous because it makes me think that they're trying to get control of stuff before something big happens. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to upload the impeachment hearings. So, and I'll do them live. You know, I'll stream them live, unless of course CNN copyright claims them and blocks them from going up, which is part of the reason I brought up CNN blocking another video, is because they did this on the last hearing that I broadcast live. Right? It broadcast live, and then after it was over, after it was done broadcasting, CNN copyright claimed it and blocked it for 2 days from anybody else seeing. And the thing is like, you know, when it's an impeachment hearing, so they have a record of doing this. So if they, and the reason that they do it, right? The reason they block it is because people are looking for it immediately after it happens or when it's happening. So if they block it for 6-8 hours, then everybody's drawn to their streams because it's the only one that's live, right? The only one that's available to get it from. So everybody links their stream, everybody goes to their stream, and it's a bunch of bullshit, and somebody needs to sue CNN, needs to sue the fuck out of CNN for it. But for whatever reason, the lawyers only care about money, and which I would think suing the fuck out of CNN would have something to do with money. But maybe not. So, and they want to act like fair use doesn't exist, right? CNN wants to act like news videos, again, aren't supposed to be disseminated wide and far, so that as many people can see them. That's what news videos are about. This is important information the public needs to see. That's what news video is supposed to be about. Now, which is why it's fair use. But let me go a little further. The reason CNN on the weekend can play Saturday Night Live clips of what just came off of Saturday Night Live a few hours ago, and not worry about getting sued by NBC, is because it's fair use. Because CNN is a news outlet, and they're showing the public something they feel, even though it's garbage, but it's not fair use. You know why? Because they put commercials on top of it, right? So they're actually monetizing the Saturday Night Live video, making money off of it, and it's a load of bullshit. And then they want to act like me posting their news videos is not fair use. Okay, so they know what fair use is. They know it exists. Otherwise, they would never post Saturday Night Live clips. NBC probably doesn't want them doing it, but at the same time, CNN airs them on TV, and then people go, "Ooh, I want to share that clip with people," and they go to, and the only place it's available is on Saturday Night Live. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the point of the CNN thing. Is that I post these things, and people go, that. They should want to get as large a market share of the audience as possible. And when they limit the amount of viewing options, they're limiting their market share. So it's ridiculous for number one, for CNN to act as if fair use video laws do not exist. That is beyond bullshit, and someone should sue the crap out of them. Number two, you know, for them to be, playing Saturday Night Live clips like it's news and monetizing it, Saturday Night Live should sue the fuck out of them too. Anyways, I'm just catching you guys up where we're at, so you know. Okay, so you know what's happening, so you know what's going on. You have 2 strikes right now over Handsome Truth. What's that, Handsome Truth? I have no idea what that is. Jackie Cat in here? There's Jackie Cat. Hi, Jackie Cat. Yes, and happy Veterans Day, or good day. Hopefully the veterans are finding something to enjoy on their day. I hope that you're finding something, you veterans are enjoying something on your day. I really hope that it's a big fat bong hit, but whatever works, as long as you're enjoying it, okay? So, all right. And that's where I'm at. And you guys see that there's a telephone number up on the screen, right? Okay, I'm just checking. Like mushrooms, Jackie Cat? I got mushrooms growing in my front yard, baby. So, and that's a weird thing, you know what? I mean, because they say that mushrooms are like illegal, right? It's a federal law. You break them, and yet they're growing in people's front yards across the country. Psychedelic mushrooms, just like this one. Ooh. Hello, caller.
Michael Knight, how are you this evening, buddy?
I am pretty good. How are you, Dwayne?
Good, good. I just waited for you to clear it after all your intro comments, and now I'm on to speak with you. I got some stuff to talk to you about. First of all, if you get the chance, maybe you can upload Don Cherry's comments.
Yeah, okay, I will. I'll try and do it before I leave for work.
Okay, because he was fired by Sportsnet.
I didn't see that he was fired just yet. I saw last night his comments, but I didn't see that he was fired.
Yeah, he's been fired, and then he put out.
And he's the voice of Canadian hockey, right?
Oh yeah, what's Hockey Night in Canada going to be without Don Cherry? I don't know. So you know what? They're screwing that up. CBC can't even do hockey right anymore, so it's just too bad. But he responded in a tweet, I think, and
thanks, Greg.
I forget where I saw it, and he basically said, I'm not going to be a lapdog for anybody, basically.
That's good. That's what people should say instead of fucking kneeling down and being a lapdog for whoever it is that's crying about what they said.
Yeah, now, obviously, it's because he said you people when it comes to wearing the poppies.
Who are you calling you people?
The people who don't wear poppies.
Poppies, you people.
Now,
what?
Of course
Yeah, I think he was, the poppy thing is, people shouldn't be shamed, you know what I mean? You can't shame people, but whatever, he has the right to say what he wants to say, and it's unfortunate that they're taking the voice of Canadian hockey away from the fans.
Yeah, well, you know how many controversies he's been in over the years, it's just unbelievable, just all the time. Libtards hate the guy.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, they always have. That's why hockey doesn't have fights anymore. Because that's why hockey's not really. I don't even watch hockey. I haven't watched hockey since the '90s because it's just not the same as it used to be.
I'm not a sports guy at all. I just don't. It's not. I don't get the whole hurting someone else in order to win a game. I'm not that. That doesn't make sense.
Well, there used to be this. I don't know. You know why Gretzky was so good? Was because every time he touched the puck, and someone would go after him, somebody would usually like Marty McSorley or who's the other guy? Got all those cards. I forget what his name is, and he just died. Dave Semenko would just smash him into the corner, and it's not like I don't know. It was just so much more fun, even in the '90s. Now it's all I don't know. It's not the same. I've had some friends who are in minor hockey, some pretty senior levels of minor hockey in the OHL, and it's just not like it used to be anyways. And now it's just all about fast skating and nothing else, basically. So
You think
I don't
sports
watch
are
the
rigged? You
NHL
think
anymore.
sports? You think professional sports are rigged?
I don't see how you can rig a hockey game. Like,
Well,
honestly, what are you going to do? Get 24 people to just play like they're losers?
You only need one or two to like screw up, right?
I guess so. I don't know. Like, I really don't think it's rigged. You know, maybe certain sports, but I don't see how you can rig a Stanley Cup final with 7 games long.
I don't either,
But
but I see, I understand the point because I think about it when they, when the World Series always goes 7 games or whatever, and it's like, it could be one in a lot less, and the big point is that if it was one in less than 7 games, they'd lose out on billions of dollars in fucking, money and commercials, you know what I mean? Ad revenues.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like, the Blue Jays in '92 and '93, we won. The Jays won 2 years in a row of the World Series. They both went to 6 games. I remember Game 1 in Toronto. The American Marines actually held the Canadian flag upside down. I don't know if you remember all that. No, you don't remember that? The U.S. Marines, when they carried the flag out on the field for the national anthems and stuff, had the Canadian flag upside down. We were so offended that the Yankees did that to us.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask, did you hear about Bernie Sanders is promising AOC a spot in the White House, eh?
Well, Bernie Sanders has to get into the White House first, so.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? Or like, he puts AOC as his running mate, and the day after he gets in the White House, he croaks, and she was VP, is now president.
Yeah.
Oh boy, all us white guys are gonna have to run like hell, man. Like,
I don't think that, there's gonna be some crap that comes out about her, dude. I don't think she's long lived for politics, honestly.
she must be CIA. I'm thinking she's CIA right from the start. So does my wife. She's got to be a plant. And even Pelosi said the same thing. Anyone with a D in front of their name can win that district, right?
Yeah.
She won. So I think they've flown somebody in that's a real troublemaker and a problem for the country. And if she's going to be, like, Bernie Sanders is making a big mistake bringing her along. The last thing I want to do in my life is make the stupidest mistake at the end. And that's what I think Bernie is doing.
Yeah, well, I think that, that's what, that's where Obama made his big mistake, right? See, and this is the deal. If AOC comes in, then it's fresh blood. When Obama came in, everybody was like, okay, now we get a new start. And he fucking loaded the place up with fucking Clinton people. So it was no new start, right? But if you start pulling these people that are, fresh faces, and maybe we have a chance at something new as opposed to the same, police state garbage.
I don't know. I don't see how tearing down every building in the United States and rebuilding it with solar power is going to make them, I don't see how that's going to work. I don't think we can become just crazy ass socialists overnight. This is insane, man. Like, I'd actually, you know what? At this point, I'm hoping that Bloomberg jumps into the race, and I hope that Biden can just. Biden's such a fucking loser. They need a man who's center.
Biden will never be the nominee. Bloomberg isn't going to jump into the race. He's not even a fucking Democrat. Okay, you know that, Wayne. That's why you want him to jump into the race. What?
He's saying he's a Democrat.
Yeah, so is Bernie Sanders.
Well, what do we call Bernie Sanders then?
Bernie Sanders is an independent. Or what? He's a registered independent. He is
running as a Democrat.
Right, I know. I don't get it. You have to ask the Democratic Party about that. I don't know.
Well,
I didn't know they just let in whoever they want,
Yeah, obviously the Democrats have no standards at all anyways.
Yeah.
Like, this is getting crazy. Like, it's good to see Beto gone. and that Julian Castro is kind of a nut too. He should just be gone. Look, like as a Canadian who's benefiting from one thing about Canada, whenever the U.S. ship goes up, whenever your economy rises, ours rises too. And I love it because I can go from one job to another, not a problem. You know, the Canadian economy is going great because our friends, our largest trading partner in the United States, is doing well. You know, 85% of Canada's trade is with the United States.
And, I didn't know that.
85%, Mike. 85% of our trade is with you guys. And, you know, it works. The United States is our best friend. I would hope that the United
We're
States...
neighbors. We want to be
friend.
good neighbors, dude. This is the problem with Israel. Yep. Israel doesn't want to be a good neighbor. You know, we want to be good neighbors. We have to, like, work together, you know. Otherwise, it's just not going to be a happy relationship or a happy place or anything, you know. I mean, it doesn't make sense to be making enemies, and we have to get over this whole adversity thing, man. You know what I mean? We this war, this endless wars for profit, Dwayne, just are really bugging the hell out of me, dude. Especially on Veterans Day.
Well, you know that's why I brought up earlier this week about this whole those two students in a Manitoba high school, they got suspended because they were criticizing the rainbow poppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, and they're just saying, like, look, let's stick with tradition. This is what we've done. You know, Remembrance Day, in Canada it's called Remembrance Day, in the United States it's called Veterans Day, right?
Uh-huh.
In Canada it's called Remembrance Day, and you know, it's always been about the red poppy. It doesn't mean if you're a faggot or not. It has nothing to do with sexual orientation. It has to do with sacrifice. So why are they bringing the whole fag agenda into the poppy? Like, I don't get that. It pisses me off, you know, because it has nothing to do with...
Well, it's like you said, look, here's the deal about that. You said the kids got suspended or whatever. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. If you don't want to wear that, you know, you shouldn't be... If you want to wear the red poppy on Remembrance Day, you should be allowed to wear the traditional red poppy, you know, and you know, to act like somehow it's a wrong move to you know, want to be, you know, honor tradition or whatever. It's just ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know that story, but you said that that's what it was about. And, you know, people should be allowed to do it. If you want to wear a rainbow poppy, wear a rainbow poppy, okay? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter as long as you're representing. I mean, you're saying, hey, this is for veterans, you know? And if they want to wear a purple poppy, I don't give a fuck what color the poppy is, you know? So, and it shouldn't matter to anyone. That's why it's wrong for those kids to have gotten suspended, because they should have the right to say, I don't want to wear a rainbow poppy if I don't want to. Just like other people should have the right to wear one if they do want to.
Well, they said that. They obviously said that, but then they said we need to, and this is why they got suspended, we need to keep the tradition of the red poppy for Remembrance, because Remembrance Day has nothing to do with homosexuality and gay rights, you know, and then what happens
for the gay rights people
tonight?
And the homosexuals, everything has to do with everything. Homosexuality has everything to do with everything, okay?
Well,
and if they're going to be part of everything, then I guess homosexuality does have something to do with everything. But it doesn't have everything to do with it, and that's why people should have the right to choose. And if they're making a big stink about homosexuality, then you know that's not you know, that's maybe not appropriate at that point.
Why do the fags have to introduce themselves into everything?
I don't know. Why do you have to keep saying fags, fags, fags? Why? I mean, why do you have to do that, Tony? You know
Dire Straits sings a song about faggots.
Look, they don't sing a song about faggots. It's a little faggot got his own jet airplane. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a song about faggots. It's a great song. Okay. Yeah. And I bet you they don't go around using the word fag, 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 fag. Okay? And
homosexual, like a homosexual. Why does the homosexual agenda have to be introduced into Remembrance Day in the first place?
Because, again, like I said, there's gay veterans. So just
Yeah,
like there's
but
gay teachers and there's gay everything else. Okay, so you have to understand that if they're part of that community and they want to wear a rainbow poppy, then they should be allowed to wear a rainbow poppy, just like people should be allowed to wear a blue poppy or a yellow poppy or whatever the fuck color poppy they want to wear. How on earth could that make any difference?
because if we're talking about Remembrance Day and we're talking about Veterans Day, okay, since 1945, I'm guessing it's been a red poppy.
Yeah,
So we
it makes
have a
sense that it
tradition.
was a red poppy. I mean, there's a reason that it's a red poppy, okay? And I get that.
Well, because poppies are red.
Well, poppies are other colors too.
Well, yes, that's true, but they're not multicolored. You don't find a poppy with a blue leaf and a red leaf and a yellow leaf and a green leaf. You
No,
don't
but
find
if the
that.
poppy is representing, if the poppy is representing veterans, then you do find veterans that are all kinds of multicolored.
Well, yeah, but then what's next? Like, natives, Native Americans and Native Canadians fought in the war. Do we have to have a poppy with an Indian chief headset on it too now? Like,
That's not a poppy. That's something else. That's it.
well, no, just actually have the poppy, but then put an Indian headset on it. You know what I mean?
No,
Because then we have to include them as well.
I'm sure that they already, the veterans, the native Aboriginal veterans from Canada, I'm sure already feel very proud to be veterans on Veterans Day.
Yeah, everyone's
I'm
proud
sure
to be a
they
veteran,
don't
and
have
we're
to
all
be-
happy for the
I'm sure
sacrifice
they don't
they've
have to
given.
be given special recognition. Okay?
Which is why when you buy a poppy for $1 walking in a Walmart, you're supporting veterans. You're supporting the Canadian Legion.
Yeah.
You know, so you're supporting these veterans.
Oh, well,
and
that's really good. I'm glad to hear that that money goes to one place. I thought it went to numerous different organizations, and that was just kind of a thing that, I didn't realize it was all one organization that gets the money.
well, in Canada it is anyway. It goes to the Royal Canadian Legion, which all the vets are a part of in Canada, right?
Yeah, do they have is that do they have lodges and stuff, or is it that special hospitals, or what does that mean to be part of the Legion?
Kind of like lodges, but what are they called?
Like
What are those things called?
VFWs, like here they have a VFW lodge where all the veterans go.
Yeah, that's the same here for the Royal Canadian Legion. They have these halls in pretty much all the major towns. I even have one in my town, and then of course in the cities, right? And it's kind of it's all for legions. They have like bingos and dances and stuff like that there, and it's always for that. You know, it's supposed to be for the veterans, and that's a good thing. I've always supported that.
Look,
It's
the
just,
veterans deserve support. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
yeah.
they earned it, and they put their lives on. The vast majority of them, I honestly believe, are really trying to do the right thing by their country when they sign up. Although a lot of them are also very desperate people trying to get like some kind of training or a better life. Maybe health care for their kids. Who knows?
Yeah, but I think obviously World War II was a lot different than the stuff going on now.
Yeah, it lasted like fucking 3 or 4 years for the United States, and then we were out.
And millions killed, millions.
And now it's lasting. Afghanistan has lasted 18, going on 19 years.
Yeah, yep. And now it's just really interesting, and all this stuff happens today with Don Cherry getting booted, and this whole rainbow poppy thing going on in Manitoba. It was just really a kind of messed up day for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was reading tweets on the CBC about about how these, especially leftists, they don't care about this. They're gonna start, like at 11 o'clock when everyone does a minute of silence and all that. They're just gonna holler out if they want to. Like, talk about disrespect,
Oh, are they doing a moment of silence like for veterans? Is that right, or what?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what we do in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they did that. I don't remember that happening. I guess they held like ceremonies here and do moments of silence at all different times. But It's not like a national thing.
Oh, it's a national thing in Canada for sure. You know.
So what time do
Mr.
they do
Justin
it?
Trudeau
So
got
everybody
to
does
name
it at
the
the same
first
time in Canada? A moment of silence?
Yep.
What time is that?
It's 11 o'clock on November 11th.
At 11 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, so it's different for different time zones.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching it at 11 a.m. Eastern, right? And
Uh-huh.
sure enough, Mr. Trudeau got to lay the first wreath.
Well,
But,
the leader of the country is the person to, you want him to acknowledge the veteran sacrifice.
Yep, for sure. And then, you know, I kind of wanted to ask you about Bernie as well, but I'm glad we touched on all that. I'm glad you saw that Don Cherry thing earlier. Like, perhaps you can show the clip and let everyone see what he actually said. And, you know, I'm thinking he's upset. He's telling people to be wearing the poppy, right?
Uh,
But then he said these people. But he was also talking about people who come to Canada, you know, and take all our milk and honey and don't wear a poppy.
yeah.
That's what he's actually talking about. So you can see how there's a bunch of butthurt people. I don't know who they are, but oh yeah, he got canned from Sportsnet this evening.
I think that's gonna leave a lot of people very upset.
It will, especially hockey. The hockey world will definitely.
Yeah.
He's been a stalwart of the hockey community for 30 years. And that was after he was done coaching. You know, that's just been on Hockey Night in Canada, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, he's the voice of Canadian hockey, from what I understand.
Kinda, yeah. Well, he's the big mouth of Canadian hockey, for sure. you know, he's definitely the biggest, you know, backseat driver there is, that's for sure.
Well, what day do you start your new job, Dwayne?
Wednesday, so this might be, you know, and I'm going to have to start like an hour and a half earlier in the morning than I do, so if I call in the show, it's going to be one of the first ones, because I'm going to have to start getting to sleep a little bit earlier when I start.
There's always Friday night, too.
Yeah, that's possible, for sure. So, you know, I'm just really excited to start. I get to start my training on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Dude. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. Glad to hear it.
Hey, thanks, Mike. And, you know, keep up what you're doing. I expect to be watching all these, you know, phony whistleblower people in the next week. I expect them to be uploaded from Mox News when I get home. And I know they will be. So
I'm going to post the hearings for sure, Dwayne. You can count on that. As long as CNN doesn't block them like they own stuff that they don't own.
I can't believe that. Like, how many videos? All right, when I go through your stuff, like, I didn't even notice. I think it was today or yesterday. You had a video blocked by CNN.
Yeah.
You get them. They get blocked by CNN, but you don't get a strike.
Right now they're not. They've changed it so that I'm not getting a strike for when they. I think you can get a strike if one's blocked, but I'm not currently getting a strike for blocked video, for worldwide block. You're able to block a video worldwide and not give a copyright strike for it, like not penalize the people, just pull down the video.
Good.
Yeah, which is it's not totally new, but it seems like that's the way that most of the stuff is going now. Luckily, I suppose. But we'll see. I don't know. You know, the YouTube is so screwed up at the moment. It's hard to judge it's hard to judge what's happening with it right now. I don't even know. I mean, it's really, really screwed up.
See, you were talking about market share with CNN.
Right.
They don't care about market share, and YouTube doesn't care about market share, or they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, well, that's the point. It's like it's not even on their radar, and it's ridiculous that it's not. Because here's the deal: is like, you know, when people come out with like these amazing pieces of software like Photoshop that everybody uses, right? They expect a certain percentage, like 25% or more, to be pirated. And why? Why don't they crack down on that? Because they want people using their software, even if they're not paying for it. Because the more people that are using it, the more successful their software is. You know? And that's what the facts are. They want their share of the market. And if they crack down on it and make their share of the market smaller and smaller, eventually their product will go away. And unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen with CNN, but I guarantee that their view count goes down worldwide. If you look at it as market share, when they start blocking all the little individual posters on YouTube, guaranteed. It's like I said again and again. If everybody posted that video of Bill Moyers, if every single YouTube account, posted that video of Bill Moyers, and it was made available to the world, then everybody in the world would see it, and CNN would get credit for this amazing interview with amazing guy who called for this amazing thing, and it's like, it's like and I know that it's more than they're trying to keep people from seeing it. It's like they want to control the conversation. So if you're having a conversation about it, like C-SPAN has been known to block some videos from time to time where they didn't want people talking about it. They wanted to control the conversation on their Facebook page. They didn't want people talking about it without censors or an adult in the room, whatever, a fucking chaperone.
When are you going to call C-SPAN again?
I don't know. When Tulsi Gabbard comes on, probably.
Oh yeah, right on. Well, hey, I'm glad you got it in your mind already. I'm calling when. Nice. Hey Mike, have a great evening, buddy, and take care, peace, love, and happiness. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, it's good to hear from you, Dwayne. Keep your head up. You can do it, man.
I will. I will, buddy, and have a great night. Bye-bye.
Okay, see ya. It's always good to hear from Dwayne. All right, so we need to do more phone calls. 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 Oh, man. You guys are so disappointing. More phone calls. Oh. What the? All right. So, anyways, I don't know. I think I'm on holiday mode since it's federal holiday, and I think other people are kind of on holiday mode since it's a federal holiday, and no school today, and a lot of people didn't go to work today, and so I was thinking maybe we'll just but I need to. I have a lot of stuff. I have to get ready. I still have laundry to do before I go to work tonight. So it's so weird saying go to work and actually go to work. I think I really think, pretty sure this is the first time we're actually working for money. Well, I'm kind of working for something. See, if I work 2 days, I get my rent paid, right? So hopefully it'll be 2 days. It really used to be rent paid. The first time I worked for money for 22 years or so. So, I just do this stuff because it's the right thing to do. Even though I don't get any money. Oh well. Could be worse, right? Could be worse. So, I guess if anybody else is going to call, now is the time to do it. Otherwise, I have laundry to do before I go to work still. Oh, that is so funny. Is it that right? I think you should. I gotta drink some water. Alright, you guys, so anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. It's always better when you're here. It'd be really nice if somebody could call, because that's what this is about. It's about calling. It's not about me talking on, which I can do, but I would rather not. So, me and the dog, thank you. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Just getting a drink of water. What's going on with you?
Oh, not much, man. Just got my kids to bed.
Right on.
This is Vinny from Aurora.
Hey,
I
Vinny.
called you a couple times.
Yeah. How's your world?
It's going pretty good, man. We actually me and my buddies got to get out, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, do some IRL activism.
On your protest? Your gay protest?
It wasn't for the tranny stuff.
Oh, okay.
We were actually just getting out talking about Jewish supremacy, and we got harassed and stalked by Antifa, and we got jumped outside of a restaurant, and I had to get stitches in my arm.
Ouch!
But we kept going, man. It was awesome. We had like 10 of us, and we had a bus that we rented, and we rode all over it with markers, the car markers, just talking about, all the heinous crimes that they've done to us for, thousands of years, that they've pitted on the white man's back to exacerbate racial tension and white guilt and white hatred.
Too loud?
But yeah, it was pretty cool. We made Haaretz. We made like every Jewish newspaper. We even made the local news here in Denver. And then just out of coincidence, there was a terror plot on Monday where the FBI entrapped a mentally ill person into agreeing to take pipe bombs that they provided. So a total setup.
Yeah, the FBI is horrible like that. They love their patsies, man.
Right.
All right. So what's the weather like in Colorado?
It's still pretty cold. It's probably like 25.
It was
28 degrees
so nice here today, man. I went outside with the dogs. We walked to the weed store, which is like a 3-hour round trip, And I put on like a really super lightweight jacket, and I had to take the jacket off by the time I was done. By the time we were halfway there, it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad today. Like when the sun's out, man, it's like maybe in the 50s or, on a good day I'll get up to the 60s. But yeah.
Yeah,
nice. I just wanted to call and tell you about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny the way like because we know these Antifa leftist groups are funded. They have money behind them and backing, and a lot of them have ties to NAMBLA and other pedophile radical organizations. And I mean, they've doxed me, they doxed a lot of my buddies in the GDL that are out here getting out, actually standing up, getting out of the echo chamber offline. Because it's great when we can talk about this stuff online, but at some point we got to get out and start talking to people about this stuff and, just kind of growing this awareness about this inevitability, like what's coming. I mean, these free speech laws where teachers, anybody receiving any kind of federal funding is being silenced by the state of Israel and by these Marxist, communists that are pushing these pushing the societal norms to such an extent that like if you speak out on it, you're immediately Nazi or you're a fascist.
Yeah.
Because you don't want like a child drag show to go on in your fucking neighborhood. That's incentivized with money. It was when John Benet Ramsey popped up, everybody was all pissed off, but now it's John Benet Tranny 2.0, with like, 7-year-olds that are getting chemically castrated. But if you want the government to pay for psychotherapy, it's not there. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, the healthcare is really messed up, man. Just this for-profit healthcare stuff has to end, and we have to start taking care of everybody. So,
So these lobby groups, I mean, they need to go, all of them. But I mean, like, the biggest one, APEC, like all of our candidates go there and they grovel and they kiss these fuckers' feet, that have killed hundreds of thousands of our American sons and daughters, and 3 million Muslims for these fucking wars for this ODED, and Greater Israel project that is fomenting this UN ethnic replacement policy of hordes of displaced people because we don't stand up for the sovereignty of these individual countries, because that's nationalistic and that's basically Hitler or some dumb shit, like, I mean, it's time that people start, speaking out of this, up to this shit and stop like waiting for a savior or some you know,
I think it's getting really close to time, Vinny. I think
candidate.
a lot of people are speaking out. I think that you see a lot of movements around the world, you know, and a lot of people going into the street and demanding, you know, to stop fucking with our freedom, you know.
Yeah, the yellow vest thing, man, I had a lot of hope for that, but it seems like just like Occupy and like so many other movements, they get subverted from within and bought out by these oligarch pieces of shit. You know, like, the, I don't know. We each gotta, you know, realize that individually, you know, like we each have impact, but you know, we can start collectivizing locally and just grow the shit nationally. And we're all saying the same thing, you know, that we're sick of these wars for Israel. We're sick of these dual citizen politicians that are you know, subverting the will of our people and, you know, opening our borders and taking away our free speech rights and gun laws. And, you know.
I hear you. I agree completely. I think they need to, you know, they swear an oath to protect the Constitution, which means to protect our rights, which means not to be whittling away at our freedom, and that's all they do, all day, every day.
Yeah, they're servants. They're supposed to be our servants, you know, like of the people, the will of the people. But, you know, the will of the almighty shekel is the only thing that they hear.
It sure seems like a lot of time that's the way it is.
All right, brother. Well, hey, have a good night.
Okay, Vinny, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it. Stay cool.
I appreciate you, man. All right, you too.
So that's Vinny from Colorado. I think he's in like Aurora or like right in that area. He is a very active activist. He is trying to get his word out. And one of these days, you know, we're going to get the word out, and everybody's going to come together, and we're going to take the power back from the powerful, the very, very few powerful, and to distribute among all of us. At least I hope that it works that way one day. Really, all I care about is being able to walk my dogs. Just want to be able to walk the dogs every day. And if I can do something besides that that's good in the world too, then I want to do that. So that's all. That's really all I want. Maybe grow a little bit of weed. Like, today is the first day that I'm actually glad that I'm not growing weed yet. Because I'm never away from the dogs, right? So I mean, they don't know what it's like to be alone for like 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever. Like, no clue. I mean, the girl dog does, but we didn't get her until she was 3 years old. But Rufus has no idea what it's like to be alone. You know? So you know, my roommate's like, "Do you want to go work?" And I'm like, "Hello, caller."
Hey, Michael. Happy 11/11.
Right on. Happy 11/11 to you too.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I don't know, sign of new beginnings, master number, pay attention to reality, all that stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I heard another story about that because there's two different systems of numerology. One is the one where you're like a 5, where you reduce the numbers down to their smallest number, and there's another system, like I'm an 11/3, right? In the other system, and 11 is the genius, and 3 is the expression. But of course, 1 and 3 end up being 5. So if you use the other system, I would be a teacher, right? So I don't know. But in 11/11, in the other kind of numerology is a frustrated genius. So, you know, but I take it all with a grain of salt. I see these numbers on my phone, or not my phone, my stove or my clock, all the time. Like 3:33 or 2:22 or 1:11 or 11:11, or, you know, it's like so. I don't know if that happens to everybody, but I see it all the time.
I see that too. I see. You know what I see on the clock? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. That always freaks me out.
So yeah, I kind of burnt out, been working a lot, and
it feels like a Monday, man. It's just like, oh, why Mondays? Why Mondays?
Yeah, no matter how many espressos I drink, I just can't get my shit together and feel energized, you know. So, but I could have gone down south. I could be watching Tulsi Gabbard right now in Lennox if I wanted to take the hour and a half drive down there to the VFW hall. But I was going to do that, but I stayed up all night trimming, and I said, fuck, I don't want to go down there. I probably wouldn't be able to talk to her. I've been to these things before. You drive an hour and a half each fucking way, and you end up big crowd of people, and you feel like you waste your time. And so I'm just getting going trimming here right now. But I would like to see her, yeah.
I would too. I'd really like to do an interview with her. I'd like to talk to her, like you're saying. I'd like to talk to her personally. You know, I'd like to. If I had her on camera, I'd ask her if she could explain, you know, from the standpoint of, you know, an island girl's perspective, you know, how she will approach the presidency in a different way than the presidents who come before her.
Well, I think you and me, if we use our imaginations, we can kind of figure out that she'll probably do almost everything right. Even Israel, even though she apparently signed on to some combined legislation that seemed to be anti-BDS. She was on Jimmy Dore in the afternoon, and then she went right to that VFW hall, because apparently Jimmy Dore is right down the street from where her VFW meeting is going on right now, and she kind of explained that. And you know how when they make legislation in Congress, they'll throw in a couple of add-ons on top of it, and that'll either solve the problem or create more problems. You know what that method is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the BDS thing was an add-on to some other kind of legislation that she wanted to get passed. That's the way she explained it. So for all the people that say, you know, she's a supporter of Israel, if anybody's playing 5D chess, it would be Tulsi Gabbard. She can't come out against Israel before she holds an office. You know, she would never make it to the office if she did. But she explained that much of it on the Jimmy Dore show. And
right on. Well, that's awesome. Most people wouldn't even ever try to explain anything like that. Would be terrified to try and explain something like that.
Yeah, she wasn't evasive or anything.
That's the thing that I like about her most, is she seems to be, you know, I just want to make this point. Whatever it is you want to, you know, whatever you want to talk about, I'll be happy to talk on that subject. Just let me finish my point on it. That's all, you know.
Yeah, she's not like everybody else that's got something to hide. You know, I know a lot of people think, like Adelaide on your chat says she's lying like the rest, but no, man, it's just like we are so jaded that when the real deal comes along, we think, oh, it's just another Obama, or it's just another Trump, or it's just another John Brennan, or it's just another fucking CIA agent, or she's military-industrial complex. Yeah, right. She's a sweetheart little girl, a surfer girl, a Prabhupadian. That's the proper name for Hare Krishna. They follow Prabhupada.
Okay,
and,
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And she, you know, she's for the environment. She explained today on Jimmy Dore that she was for a two-state solution, but fucking we all know that you pretty much gotta throw down Israel if you're ever going to get any solution, whatever, you know. And then your other, your previous caller from Colorado, who's freezing his butt off in Colorado while we soak up the sun on the West Coast. You know, he sounds pretty involved in stuff like that. What was I going to say? You know, I just think, I don't know what I was going to say about your previous caller. I'm stoned right now, so I'm losing my train just went off the tracks. But
nice.
I'm
what are you puffing?
Just my own Ojai Om blend.
Right on. Did you watch my butter video?
No, I didn't, man. I was too busy with Evo Morales, and I was watching Chinatown. I'm almost to the end of Chinatown.
Oh, yeah?
I'm burned out. But the Evo Morales thing is pretty important, you know.
It's interesting to see him step down. That doesn't seem like his style at all.
It's not his style, but you know the mayor that got beat up and her face painted red the other day?
Yeah.
She's a Evo Morales supporter. She's in the party of Evo Morales. Apparently, they burnt Evo Morales' parents' house and attacked some of his family. They beat up the mayor. They attacked people in his party. And then the military, the coup instigators, came on television, Bolivian television, and said, we're asking Evo Morales to step down. And so at first, I think he called for a brand new election, even though there's nothing wrong with the election that just happened. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That whole story is a fake story. There was nothing wrong with that election. And then after he called for a new election, then he announced that he was going to step down. And I heard the president of Mexico invited him to Mexico in a silo, you know. So apparently there's a lot of violence going on. I'm not quite sure on the casualty count, but I do know that the Organization of American States, the OAS, is a fully corrupted body, whereas it used to be for all of the South American states. It used to do good work when Chavez was around. And the CIA's been very busy in every fucking country: Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia, Honduras.
And the DEA, and the whole bunch of other fucking organizations that, you know, are top secret.
Yeah, so it's a full-out South American continental assault by all those alphabet agencies. And, you know, I thought, oh, they got to Colombia. Colombia helped them get to Venezuela, but now in Bolivia, it's like, oh, fuck, they're going full swing on all the South American countries, you know. The only good thing that happened was in Brazil, and I think that's unrelated. I think if they thought Lula was a threat to their hegemony, I mean, talking about CIA imperialist hegemony, they would just out kill Lula and blame it on a nut job, you know, just like Kennedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we really got to keep an eye on South America. This is what I remember. Your buddy from Colorado, I don't know his name, but he was talking about
Vinny.
Vinny, V-I-N-N-Y?
Yeah.
Okay, cool guy.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Cool guy with a Nazi tattoo, but it's okay. No.
That's a great book title.
Cool guy with a Nazi tattoo.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, don't give up on the yellow vests in France. Today they blocked off the main highway in between Spain and France. Totally blocked it off.
Oh, right on. I didn't see that. They didn't have that on the French news this afternoon.
Where did I see that? I saw that at about 6 a.m. in the morning, live on France 24, I think. Don't you get shit? Don't you get stuff off France 24?
Yeah, they didn't have anything this afternoon about it.
It was a full live stream, man, that I saw about 6 a.m.
Yeah, I don't get it until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and I didn't see anything. I watch it every day. It's good news. So.
Yeah, France 24 is great.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long it lasted. I saw about more than 1,000 people, plus cars. They were using cars to block traffic both ways.
That's how you do it.
And I'm guessing, I don't really know the map, but I know Catalonia is to the west, basically, and Spain is to the west, so it must be, they're blocking the road to Catalonia, and I'm guessing that. I don't know. But I'm sure that makes sense. Why would Catalonian protesters are really only going to be in Catalonia, so I'm sure that's what it is. And they have every right to do that because every single one of the 5 or 7 provinces in Spain, Andalusia, all the other fucking provinces, always, since the Spanish War, as far as I know, had the constitutional right to withdraw from the union of provinces that makes up Spain. And Catalonia is historically the richest of them all, and the main body of Spain was taxing the Catalonians too much, squishing them. They squished their indigenous language, and you know that's where Barcelona is. That's where all the tourism is. That's there's a lot of agriculture and industry, and Catalonia could be a completely sovereign country, as is their constitutional right, and that's what all the fucking brouhaha is about. It's like, you know, like apparently each one of our states here in the U.S. has the right to secede from the Union, I guess. But look, just imagine what would happen if Texas actually seceded from the Union. You know, we'd have, you know, if they actually did that, there'd be some kind of a big brouhaha, just like there is in Catalonia, you know.
There'd be a military response.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's what you got in Catalonia. And so you don't give up on the yellow vest. Those guys, they're not bought off. That was my point with Vinny. They're not bought off.
Yeah.
They're just like us. They're just fighting for, you know, they're like Texans fighting for Texas, or Californians fighting for California, or Washingtonians fighting for the state of Washington.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't seen. I mean, it was every weekend forever, and then I haven't seen anything about them in the news for a couple of months almost. It seems like 5 or 6 weeks, and then it's good to hear that they're still doing stuff. I don't know why the French news or the British news doesn't cover it.
Well, yeah. All I see is people, because I got a network, so I see the video from France.
Yeah.
I mean, from Spain, from Catalonia.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Spanish people, and they shoot me the videos and stuff of the shit going on.
Yeah.
And
Hello, Michael?
yeah, I'm just stoned, man. Sorry. That was like a 1.5 second pause, wasn't it?
Like, should I say something? Should I check? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Just had a brain freeze for a second. I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, man, don't give up on the yellow vest. Don't give up on the Catalonians. Don't give up on the Hong Kong people. And don't give up on every time you see people in the street, it's either really stupid people like Antifa pretending to protest stuff, or really legitimate kind of working class people.
Antifa is the ones that's taken over by corporate interests.
Right. Yeah. They think they're doing something, but they're just bored and they're stupid. But it doesn't matter where it is in the world. When people go into the street, they're either fake and they're bought off or funded.
Well, there's a good chance they're being funded by the CIA or something.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of infiltration going on, obviously, but you can't underestimate the grassroots origins of people who are upset. It's like, I was in Occupy Wall Street. You were in Occupy Wall Street.
I love the people in Hong Kong. They're fucking amazing, dude. And I don't know what the fuck is wrong with their police. The police are fucking losing it in Hong Kong. Like it's they have to see that no matter what they do, these protesters aren't going to back down. And the more violent the police become, the worse it's going to be. The more protesters are going to come out on the streets.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, man, because what you got in Hong Kong is the supposed leadership, not of the uprising, but of the actual Hong Kong government. They're the ones who are bought off. They're the ones putting the oh yeah, we'll get around to it. Just go back to work, and nothing will ever happen
Right.
if they go back to work. So nothing changes unless people get upset and get out into the streets
And the people should again. I don't care if it's Antifa or whatever. You should support people going into the streets because those people are they're exercising freedom. They're doing the proud American tradition of standing up to fight what they see as wrong.
Well, no, I gotta disagree with you, Michael, because the movements on the right and left are both infiltrated, and like Vinny in Colorado, maybe he's up there standing up for white power and all that shit, and maybe he knows about Jewish supremacy, and he's a fan of Green, what's his name, Adam Green's channel, and that's cool, and maybe he might almost know as much as I do, but at the same time, Antifa is fake. They're bored, stupid people, and the people fighting Antifa are kind of bored also. So
Yeah.
why can I stay out of that fucking clusterfuck? Because it's just a bunch of stupid people fighting each other over supposed ideals. What are the ideals these people are fighting for? I know.
I mean, if I was part of that fight, I would be fighting for free speech, which seems to be people are fighting against on certain levels in that fight, right?
Well, we can't really compare left and right, the Antifa and the people fighting them. I'm not criticizing everybody on the right, man, because I'm an older guy. I really, I'm just not going to engage in a stupid fight. But the people in Hong Kong, that's not a stupid fight. The people in France, that's not a stupid fight.
Yeah.
The people in Bolivia, that's not a stupid fight. The people in Catalonia, that's not a stupid fight. That's not Antifa and white power people.
No.
Those are citizens, regular citizens, saying, hey, shit's fucked up, yo, and we're not going to let you do this to us. That's legitimate. Antifa is bored little hippies with their fucking stupid buns tied back, and gay, like Dwayne. Gay, I don't give a fuck about gay flowers on a fucking whatever it is, but it's like let's if we're gonna fight, let's fight for legitimate shit, not demonizing Trump and not saying the world's going to heat up like a fucking oven, man, and the sea level's rising, everybody run. It's like there's so much bullshit. You got to step back from the bullshit and really try to see what's going on. And those countries I mentioned and many more, those are legitimate. Antifa is not legitimate, and half of the people fighting Antifa are not legitimate. But I'm not making a judgment on anybody who's called in here, but you're not going to see me. I went to Occupy LA, and I was there a lot, and half the people were clowns. There was no organization, there was no leadership. It was just a party. I saw people on stilts dressed up as clowns. I saw jugglers. I saw freaks. But I also saw the Lawyers Guild, and I saw educated people, and I saw people that are really concerned. So I'm just saying, whatever you do in life, especially if you're going to go out in the street, it's not a fucking game. It's not a party. You do something serious for a good reason. No matter what it is. Stop on the side of the road, help somebody change their tire. Some old lady don't know how to change a tire. Change her fucking tire for her. But just don't engage in a bunch of fake fights on the left and the right. That's what they want. You're buying into their fucking game. The government's the enemy. And the government has infiltrated everything. And the government are the corporations. The corporations run the government. So,
Right.
I'm just saying, we should all just grow up a little bit, smoke a little weed, see what's what. Get the real deal going. Don't get involved in bullshit. Don't get involved in Antifa. You're stupid if you get involved in Antifa. Who are you fighting?
If you're fighting against free speech, you're a threat to everyone. If you're fighting for censorship, you're a threat to everyone. and to humanity.
Well, I agree. We're both proponents of free speech, and you are trying to bring people together. You're trying to be an inclusive broadcaster. You're presenting points from the left and the right, and you're doing good work. I like that. I appreciate that. But man, who was the guy? Albert Pike. Albert Pike in the 1880s fucking laid out the whole plan for World War III, and he would have the Muslims fighting the Christians, and you would have a split in the societies where everybody's fighting everybody. Unfortunately, everything he was talking about back then is a reality now. So don't buy into it.
I don't. You know that I don't. I mean, it doesn't benefit you to think to live in fear, or to think that people are somehow against you. You can see that when people who don't have any kind of like people who don't agree at all call and talk with me. We're not against each other. We just have different visions. People have so much more in common than this fear thing that's being pushed on us to divide us. As far away apart into as many groups as possible.
Well, Trump is absolutely right to call out fake news all the time. Every time he sees it, he should call out fake news, because that's what's poisoning.
But he only ever calls it out about himself.
Right. Yeah, I know that. You know that. But at the same time, I'm encouraging the population to really dig down into the stories, because look at Bolivia. We thought the Organization of the American States caught a bad election, right? But that was just a fake news story that every network in the world immediately put out within 24 hours, and the whole population was fooled. And now we realize, oh, this is an imperialist coup so severe they're burning the president's house, and he's got to run off to Mexico. That's the real story. So, yeah, fake news, man. Sometimes it's better to wait 24 or 48 hours before you even make up your mind on a story, because
I do that a lot. I look at stuff and I think, no, this is some. I was talking about that hit in Mexico the other day. With the family with all the kids and everything.
They found a bunch more bodies.
There's something going on there that there's a part of the story that's being left out, and I don't know exactly what it is, but something's not right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. When you got, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll know what I mean when I say chaos is the ladder. Sometimes you can take advantage of a chaotic situation and make it look like the cartel hit this person or that person, and it's really the CIA or the DEA or somebody else. So we don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm just saying that whole story stinks to high heaven, and the fact that the media fucking just won't let it go, won't move on to anything else, tells me that there's something more to it than what we're being told.
And the fact that they were Mormons, I don't think is an unimportant detail either. Because, I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not.
That they're polygamous, you mean, or?
No, I just, there's a big connection between Mexico and Mormons historically, but I'm not quite sure how that plays into the political situation or the cartel situation. That maybe
isn't the connection between the Mormons and Mexico that they banned polygamy in the United States, and the Mormons that wanted to continue,
that was the original reason for the Mormon migration to Mexico.
Okay.
But since there's Mormons in Utah and Mormons in Mexico, there's got to be a large population of Mormons going back and forth pretty fucking constantly. So maybe that has something to do with gun running, or who the fuck knows. I really don't know. But, Mitt Romney ain't my favorite guy.
Mitt Romney was not born in America, in the United States. He has no right to run for president. That's all.
He's just a Mormon dick. He's the Mormon version of Bloomberg, basically. You know, he's just you know, I guess he runs some kind of predatory banking firm that scooped up a million houses during the housing crash. You know, and
Yeah, no, he seems like pure garbage to me. I mean, I don't know. I never understand how the Republicans nominate people like this. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, all you got to do is join their club, and then you got a shot at the big game, and that's what he did. He took his shot. He lost. But he didn't lose anything. He probably wrote a book. He probably made money on his campaign. He made connections. And I got a friend who lives in Salt Lake, and he says, man, the CIA's all over Salt Lake. We got a housing boom there, and you got government offices going up right and left, and it's like the fucking, what he said, it's the new Silicon Valley in Salt Lake. And he's right there, and he's as smart as me. I know he knows, so I believe him. You know, so there's a lot of money going into Salt Lake right now, and so you know, I don't know. The world's screwed up. I'm just sitting here trimming my weed and trying to watch watch the races. You know.
Yeah. No, we'll get through it. It's you know, I mean, you got your weed. We'll get through it. I got my weed. We'll get through it. Yeah, that's what I know. I know tomorrow the sun's going to come up, and I'm going to go walk the dogs, and that's what really matters. So, you know, the rest of this shit is just this constant theater that's meant to pressure you and and make you feel, you know, like different ways that maybe you don't want to feel, and maybe you should consider that when you're you know taking this stuff into your brain.
Well, in America, we've got this totalitarian tiptoe. It's a little bit worse in England, but when you go down to South America, man, like those people, they're peasants, man. They're farmers, they're merchants. They're getting fucked because you know they barely rose out of the pit of all the imperialist conquest with the Bolivarian Revolution, which was more like a spiritual revolution. It spread all throughout South America, and then Chavez came along and made it way stronger and succeeded in nationalizing his country's assets. They got rid of him. They're trying to get rid of Morales. And now they're doing this to Bolivia, you know, and it's like, and it's the people who are going to suffer. You know, in order to make such trouble down there, they got to be pouring millions of dollars into that country. You know, they bought off generals, they bought off the military, they got provocateurs on the street, they're beating up mayors. You know what would happen? That's Harvey Milk all over again, except Harvey Milk was all about gay people, you know.
Yeah.
Moscone and all that shit. But yeah, man, I feel bad for the people of South America, and I guess Morales, Evo Morales, he's the first indigenous president of Bolivia. It's like they never, every other president came from the ruling class, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this guy, they just totally fucked him, and so I think he stepped down to try to bring some peace to his country in the hopes that within the next month he can fix it. It was a selfless act. It's not that he did anything wrong. He just wanted things to calm down, and we'll figure it out later. Like the same thing as walking away from a woman when you're in a fight. Let her cool down, come back to it later when she's calm. So that's what Morales did. He did the right thing, I guess. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. Because I believe in that guy. He was in prison, you know. I don't know how many years he spent in prison, but if you want to see a good movie, Michael,
Yeah.
see Y la lluvia también, and also the rain. It's all in Spanish.
Huh.
It's a great movie about water in a South American country, and it'll really you'll like it. Everyone will like it. It's a great movie.
I love water.
Yeah, Y la lluvia también. It's a great, excellent movie.
Right on.
But yeah, so I guess I'll go since I'm so stoned. I don't know what to say next.
Well, I'm glad that you're having a nice evening and you feel relaxed and enjoying your trimming.
That's all I'm doing, baby.
Well, keep up the good work, sir.
Okay, take care, brother.
Good to hear from you. Okay, so if anybody else wants to call, I'm thinking about calling it here pretty much. Like I said, I got to go to. I got working tonight. So I want to, if you want to call, I'm going to be here for a minute. Okay, well, get your damn bong hit ready, man. Yeah, if you don't have the bong out and ready, Wolco, the brownie must be working, right? The brownie must be working, dude. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to heat up this dab rig, Wolco. I'll be ready in a minute. All right, so let's see. All right, you guys, thanks so much for calling. It's always good to hear from you guys. Always nice to touch bases with you. I miss you on the weekend, so you know. I think, gosh, I hope Wayne's having a nice weekend. Of course, Wilco wrote me. He's like, hey man, I'm making my butter. Da 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 da. About fucking time, Wilco. Alright, so heating this thing up, man. Alright, I'm gonna be ready in just a sec. Hold on. This is like a new bull. It's less than a couple weeks old and it's like all black already. I gotta get an electric one, man. Really want to get an electric one. Really want to get an electric one. Gotta find an electric one that works. Not all crazy. Alright, you guys. I will be. It's going to take a minute to cool off. We'll hold just a second. I will be doing this again tomorrow. We do this every day at 7 p.m. Pacific. So whenever. We're not getting any phone calls. I think everybody's kind of in holiday mode with the Veterans Day and everything. I feel a little bit. I feel kind of anxious because I'm going to work for the first time in 22 years. But it's only for 1 or 2 nights, so I can get through it. But you guys, it's always nicer when you're here. We'll be here tomorrow again at 7. I'll go a little bit longer tomorrow. I have strange, like I said, anxiety, anticipation of what it is that I might encounter tonight for the first time working in 22 years. So I'm not really worried about it, but I want to make sure I'm properly fed and properly medicated, and I got my clothes properly dried. So I got to go do laundry. So let me do that, and I'll be back tomorrow at 7. And I got to go do a video for Dwayne. Goat. Who's the goat? Who's gonna rot in hell? Dwayne, who's gonna rot in hell? Dwayne will tell you who's gonna rot in hell. Dwayne knows all about that shit. right. Again, thanks to everybody for showing up. It would be completely meaningless without you guys. Sorry for cutting it short. We'll be back tomorrow at 7. You know, this would not be, this would just be retarded if you guys weren't here. So thanks very much for showing up. And we're going to have to start, now that we've got the green screen going and the OBS, we're going to have to start brainstorming on how we get the more people to show up for the live shows. Okay? So, and I know Wilco's working on it, and I'm working on it too, and I know Craig's working on it too. So, thanks so much to everybody for all your help.
What are you doing?
If there's my Boo Bear, if there's anything that you guys want to see,
This dog.
if there's
goes
anything
crazy
that
for
you
the
know that you want
hose,
to talk about
like all little
for
kids.
future shows, let me know, because
Go
I'm
crazy.
fully down.
For the hose.
And we'll end this with Rufus playing with the hose. Okay, so Craig, you can make that full screen and stay cool, because one of these days this war is going to end. Okay, we're going to be together to celebrate that day. Okay, Greg, go ahead and make that full screen. Make it full screen. Make it full screen. Make it full screen! Alright. See you guys. Have fun. Talk to you soon. See you tomorrow.
Hey, get up off the fucking dirt! Don't go on the dirt! Hey! No! Hey! I said no! Get up! Go roll on the bed. Hey, it's too hot. You're gonna burn yourself. Too hot. Stop. Too hot. Go lay on the bed. It's too hot, dude. You're gonna hurt yourself. Can't you feel how hot it is? Can't you feel how hot it is? It's too hot. Look at this dog! He's cranking! Too hot, buddy. Hey,